you are a motorhead, petrol head, you love cars, you're an auto enthusiast, then this is the video you have to watch till the end, because we have listed down top 9 performance cars that you can buy in India before the world goes fully electric, or rather fully mental. Let's start with the M2. I call this a mental to the power of 2 because in no particular order, this is my favorite performance cars, and if I have to buy, maybe I'll settle for this, but that's me. Why? Because this also comes with a manual gearbox option that changes the whole equation. Apart from that, even the automatic gearbox is not a sloth, it's a complete missile. On the road, on the tarmac, you can go about your daily life and you can do those quick overtakes. You can have 2 doors, but the last 2 seats are also not that uncomfortable. So this is a little impractical car when you put the price and you compare this with the 340i other cars, but the more you drive it, the more you'll fall in love with this. Now, if you don't like this, because this is a 454 bhp, 1.03 X showroom, also it's got 550 Nm of torque. Now all that figures you'll find in many other cars, but what you'll not find is that driving thrill. You see, we are going to go spinning right now, and the way it controls, the way it slides, the way it controls itself, and the tire also completely syncs in with the harmony. The steering output is just perfect. It is just the car you can go sliding into the rest of 2025. Now, there is also
the Mercedes-AMG A45 S, the top hatch to end all hot hatches. Its 2-liter turbo 4 makes 416 brake horsepower and 500 Nm of torque. Good for 0 to 100 in just 3.9 seconds. AMG's trick AWD system makes it devastatingly sharp in corners. Downside, just 103 mm of ground clearance and a stiff ride. But at 94.8 lakhs, it's tiny in size, huge in performance, the most powerful 2-liter 4-cylinder after all, and is best for our city roads. And now, let's talk about the one with performance and practicality, the Audi S5, a 3-liter turbo V6 producing 349 brake horsepower and 500 Nm of torque, paired with a quattro all-wheel drive system with an 8-speed auto. That means 0 to 100 in just about 4.8 seconds, and priced between 77 to 85 lakhs, is the most affordable car on this list. It's stylish, comfortable, and always eager to play when the roads open up. There's always that humming sound when you start the exhaust, and people in all the 4 seats feel comfortable at the same time excited all the time. Next up is the Mercedes-AMG GLC 43 Coupe. This might surprise you. The best-selling AMG in India is an SUV coupe hybrid. The latest GLC 43 Coupe ditches the V6 for a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with an electric turbo and mild hybrid assist. Delivering 416 brake horsepower and 500 Nm, it may be taller and heavier, but it hustles 0 to 100 kmph in under 5 seconds. With a price tag of about 1.29 crore X showroom, it's part luxury SUV, part hungry hot hatch in disguise, which can attack the potholes, probably good for our cities. Meet the BMW Z4 M40i, essentially a Supra with its top off. The Z4 M40i runs a 3-liter N96 with 335 brake horsepower and 500 Nm of torque. At 92.9 lakhs, it's aging, yes, but with the rare Pure Impulse manual edition, it becomes a true collector's piece. Ground clearance is very low, agreed, and supply is very limited. But when the roof's down and the road's clear, nothing else matters. Now let's meet the latest, the Mercedes-AMG CLE 53. It replaces both the C-Class and the E-Class coupes. Under the hood, a straight 6 making 449 brake horsepower and 600 Nm of torque thanks to mild hybrid boost, 0 to 100 in 4.2 seconds, but the real party trick is a dedicated drift mode that switches it from all-wheel drive to a rear drive tire shredder. At 1.35 crores, it's a head turner that also knows how to misbehave. Next up is the BMW M4 CS. Think of it as the M4 turned up to 11 with 543 brake horsepower, 650 Nm of torque, and 0 to 100 in just 3.4 seconds. It's lighter, stiffer, and more track focused than the standard M4. At 1.89 crores, you're buying precision, control, and one of the most rewarding drives you can have in India. Followed by the BMW M5, which is the first hybrid M car from the house of BMW. A twin-turbo V8 paired with an electric motor delivers a colossal 717 brake horsepower and 1000 Nm of torque. It weighs 2.4 tons, but X-Drive and the rear axle steering rocket it to 100 km in just about 3.5 seconds. At 1.99 crores is proof that brute force and hybrid tech can coexist. And yes, switch traction off and it still drift like an M should. And I did that with my eyes closed. This list cannot be completed without the addition of the Porsche 911 Carrera. It's the entry-level Porsche and just crosses the 2 crore threshold. But it's anything but basics. 3-liter twin-turbo flat-six makes 389 brake horsepower and 450 Nm of torque, doing 0 to 100 in just 3.9 seconds with sport chrono, of course. It hits 295 km top speed and offers that classic Porsche handling balance. With the 7818 Cayman and Boxster discontinued in India, this is now the gateway to Porsche's ICE legacy. And there you have it, the top 9 ICE performance cars in India. Some may argue about value or alternative picks, but let's be honest, performance cars aren't about logic. They're about passion, drama, and the sound of an engine that will soon be history. Which one's going to be your pick? Drop in the comments and tell us, should we tackle the top 9 supercars or hypercars in India next?